You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is going on, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini, and we have a very special guest for this interview, so you should definitely stick around for that. Most definitely. All right, so if you want to get someone to do something, you give them an incentive. From salespeople to athletes to wage earners to CEOs to consumers, people naturally respond to incentives in all their many forms. So what do you think would be a good way to for you to get yourself going? Give yourself an incentive. How do you give yourself an incentive to do something? By focusing on the reasons why you're doing it and on all the things you gain from doing it. Visualize clearly and in detail what your actions will accomplish. Keep that vision in front of you. It is very easy to get distracted by the difficulties and details of getting the work done. So make an effort to constantly keep in mind why you're doing it in the first place. Give yourself a powerful incentive by maintaining a strong connection between your efforts and the reasons behind them. You provide incentives to others all the time. Each dollar you spend is an incentive for someone. Every day, incentives are compel people to do extraordinary things. Give yourself a big enough incentive and you can accomplish anything that you desire. Take that from me, Dini Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
All right, guys, today's interview is the Nova the Rebel interview. And again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. There is, without question, merit in all of these interviews I've done. And I think I'm 700 or 800 in right now. So, yeah, I got a lot under my belt. But I have to personally say that each and every one that I write and send out upon having our guests here, I'm continually humbled by the honesty and the genuine strength of the will to communicate to and demonstrated by these indie artists and even some seasoned professional ones that we've had on the show. I read between the collective lines of all these interviews stacked upon one another, and I like to think that we're finding these common threads that exist between the struggles of independent artists, of all musicians all over, of all creative vessels on this business venture alike. And we as musicians have always believed there is much in common between us all. So, with that, let's bring on our special guest, Nova the Rebel. Hey, man, you're now live in the midst with all of us.
Hey,
how's it going?
Oh, I'm good, man. Blessed, man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Glad to have you on tonight, man. 2020 is here. It came out of nowhere. What's the big plans for this year?
Oh, man, big plans, big plans. More of everything, up in the levels, man. We're talking about more music, more video, more touring, more of everything. And then just me indulging in a few businesses that I'm trying to bring up, all dealing with music as well. Just gearing up for a crazy leap, you know? So
Right
that's
on.
what it's about, man.
That's right. That's right. So we're honored to have you on our podcast today, man, and thanks so much for sharing your time and thoughts with us. Though we know you're still somewhat new to our side of the internet, but we also know you're not new to this music thing. We've also read about your research and know this is an important and exciting time for you with new music on the horizon. But before we get into all of that, it seems as if the road to getting here may not have been an easy one whatsoever. It may have been an easy one. Who knows? That's why you're here to tell us. So let's start at the very beginning, man. Your bio, Surviving in Life. So how did it all start for you? What's the history?
Man, it's just, you know, back in the day, I got older brothers. And, you know, back in the day, they used to, of course, play the music. I'm trying to listen to cartoons or whatnot. I mean, I'm trying to watch cartoons. They playing the music all in the background. And eventually, the music started to get to me, took over me. It was like, oh, man, you know what? This is a way I can have my little fun, express myself. I was 7 years old. You know, now keep in mind, I have an 18-year-old daughter, so that you can imagine, you know, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, man, just going through, I hit the studio. Well, I got me a karaoke machine when I was little, and I graduated, actually went to my first studio at 15, and then in between there, it's just been different record labels. I was signed on the East Coast at one point. Then I'm back to the city, signed with a label out in my city of Cleveland, Ohio, and went from that situation, went totally independent where I was like looking for nobody to help. It was just me, my team, and just trying to push forward. And then eventually, as I was promoting my new single that I had at the time, which was in 2015, I had a song called Monster, which is now on my album, which came out in 2017. In the midst of me promoting that, someone that was close to Crazy Bone, they ended up hearing me as I was promoting through social media. And then they said, hey, you know, why don't you leave your number with me or whatnot, and I'm going to try to see what I can do. And then, sure enough, I left my number, and then that weekend, Crazy Bone's brother is actually the one that called my phone. Well, he texted me first. Well, he called me first, and then, it was a funny-looking number. I thought it was a bill collector or something. So I kind of ignored it, and I was busy at the time. And then he texted me and told me exactly who he was. So then I followed up with a call like the next morning. He told me how much he enjoyed my music. And then maybe a couple of days later, because I didn't even inquire about getting with Crazy Bone at the time, I was just solely on my thing, and then just wondering, okay, well, what can you offer? And so a few days later, we were having a conversation, and then that's when I brought up, hey man, well, I know your brother got a situation with the Life Entertainment. What's up with that? And that's when his brother told me, man, I was looking for you to ask me that the whole time. And then he came, we met up, and he showed me a text from Crazy Bone saying, man, that dude dope. Who is that? And so that's kind of how their conversation was. Who is that? Yeah, it's kid over the Rebel from Cleveland that I was telling you about. Blase. Okay, what you want to do with him? Well, I'm trying to bring him to you. He was like, all right, well, let's get it done. Let's get it done then. And there it is.
Definitely. All right. So, who are your influences when you are writing and recording music?
My influences, we can go back to guys like, of course, Bone Thugs and Harmony. That goes without saying. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Ice Cube, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z. Like, a lot of those guys really had an impact on my coming of age with, musically. And then, even honestly now, just seeing what guys is doing right now, the ones who, in my opinion, are more rhyme sayers than others, they help too. They help me push my pen as well. Your J. Cole's, your Kendricks, your guys like that. So anybody that you can really name that can give you some dope story rhyme, Andre 3000, Slick Rick, man, I got a lot of influences. Anybody that you feel has been making really good music, timeless music, they had an influence on me.
Awesome, man. All right. How would you describe your style of music, and what kind of drives you to continue to push it?
I'm a rebel, man. Like it sounds funny, no pun intended or whatever. That's me. It's why I said my name. I like to be different. I like to come at you from a different angle, or a different sound wise. I would describe mine as more conscious, but it's very versatile because I can go from, oh, she's my type, to love my city, back to monster, to, it's I would say it's a lot of versatility in it, but overall more conscious than anything, because even in a lot of my records, we could be having fun on the record, but I still will drop some things that pertain to life. And so, yeah, that's how I would categorize it more than anything.
Right on. So let me ask you about this, because you're kind of on the fence of, you have the opportunity to break records, coming up from, out of the fam of Grammy Award winners. You feel me? So do you feel like it's literally impossible to maintain the purity of art in the midst of commercialized success and recognition?
No, I don't, but I understand. And I understand that there's an agenda out there. But to me, the fans are what matter most. And there's always going to be people that really want to hear actual, genuine art. Not just, hey, man, let me sell myself for a quick buck real quick. I need to make this record.
Yeah.
It's different. You know, you have fans that when I go to these shows, they tell me how much Bone or even me have had an impact on them in life, dealing with life issues. Everybody's dealing in life. Not everybody is riding around in a Maserati, all these chains and all this craziness, all this extra. A lot of the people that's even rapping about it ain't really doing it like that, you know? So right. When you talk about life, that's something that everybody can relate to. Now, not everybody may not like your sound, but when we talk about life, when we giving you that real, when it's something genuine, you speak from the heart, there's always going to be people that can understand and relate.
Right on, right on. Yeah, man. So your continual pursuit of music kind of reflects an insatiable need to feed the people music. I can't imagine it's born out of vanity. You just don't seem like that kind of person. So why the need to release music as much and as often as you do?
You know, I just love what I do. I just enjoy it. You know, it's like Coolio said back in the day, if hip-hop didn't pay, I'd rap for free. Why? Because I get the chance to express myself. I like creating energies. I enjoy it. You know, if you talk to a gamer, you don't have to pay them to play 2K. They're going to go play 2K. Because they enjoy it. It's something that they can, you know, have fun with or whatnot. Now, granted, we pay to go to studios and stuff like that, but guess what? Gamers pay for their consoles. They pay for new controllers after they break them, or they pay for new video games. So it's all relative. You do what you love, you invest in what you love, you know, and I invest in me. And so regardless of the fact whether, you know, whether people feel like, hey, you flooding it too much, or, you know, you ain't flooding it enough, I do it at my pace because, again, I just enjoy people saying, hey, I love what you just did. Oh, my goodness. I love that record. Where can I download it? Where can I get it? That right there is an adrenaline rush for me. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this new music, man. What you got cooking? And where do you hope that it takes us in our minds when we listen to it?
Well, you know, my last project was just to get people up to speed. I dropped Thinking Out Loud in 2017. Now I have mixtapes prior to that, but I dropped my album Thinking Out Loud in 2017. Then I came back. You know, I did little freestyles, little freestyle records. Dropped some a couple of videos to them in 2018. So then 2019 came, and I put out my Rebels World. Now Rebels World, it has a song that I tour with all the time. It's called It's Your Birthday. And so people go hard to that record when I perform it, even when it ain't their birthdays. They just love the record. It's a good feel, and for the ones that's, you know, birthdays is that month, they go even harder. You can hear them while I'm performing the record. But where I hope it just continues to take people is it's all about learning. You know, if you're not learning as the days go by, you're being stagnant. And so I'm all about, you know, continuing to make people aware of certain things, and make people aware of how we may look sometimes, how we may act sometimes, and how we could have a better turnout if we act certain ways. Or, I mean, for the most part, that's just how I feel. It's all about awareness. And I just want people to be a lot more aware of the moves that they make, because it could be this. Even with my new song, which I just released, it's called Sun Goes Down. It's about what happens when it's no longer daylight, you know? So it's consequences there's consequences if you're in certain places at certain times, or you're doing certain things. And a lot of these things, people more so do it at night. Because if you hear about it in the day, it's like, man, they did that in broad daylight. But if it's nighttime, it's like, well, you expect that because it's night. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like awareness is my thing. Let's just be aware of how we move. Period.
Right on. So how does, you talked about some previous records, how does your material stack up against the older stuff? Like, you know.
How does my new material stack up against my older stuff?
Yes, sir.
I mean, as an artist, you always feel like you're getting better. But then I'll have, like, my nephew. Like, my second mixtape that I really put out, which was, like, 2005, that's still his favorite mixtape. But I think a lot of it is nostalgia. You know, man, when I was coming up, man, and I was in the room and I had my CD player, man, when I was going to summer school, that was all I played before I left. You know, so I think a lot of that is nostalgia on top of, you know, I'm liking the songs or whatnot. But
right,
who knows? You know, everybody is going to have, oh, this was my favorite, or this was my favorite. You never know. As long as the people feel like, hey, there's some good shit on this one too. Oh, there's some horror shit. You know, I'm sorry if I don't know if I can cuss, but you know, yeah, man, it's raw music on this newest one. I'm loving number such and such and such and such or whatnot. You never know how it's gonna go, man. Me personally, I always think I have a better foot forward when I come with something new, because I do try to top what I did, but at the same time, certain sounds, certain whatever, just click with people. And a lot of my music, I try to always make different. I always try to be versatile, explore different topics or whatnot. Some of my earlier music was a lot more redundant, so I like what I'm doing now, of course, better than I did back in the day. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's a lot more it is a lot more conscious. It did. Yeah. The consciousness progressed over time. Yes, it definitely did. Because I was if you listen to my rhymes back then, I was wild. I was saying some wild stuff. It was funny. I was a lot more of a character, like laughing wise back then. You know. Yeah. I still got that, but it's a lot more realism to it. So.
Yeah, reality music.
Yeah, it's just me becoming more and more aware of the world, more and more aware of agendas, more and more aware of my surroundings, you know, as opposed to a 20-year-old me that's just living life, having fun, and having chicks coming in and out of my doors and rapping about that. It's a whole difference.
Definitely.
So...
So let's talk about your favorite show moment, favorite performance of yours that you will always remember for the rest of your life.
Shoot, man. I don't know, man. I have a nice amount of pretty good shows. One that just sticks out. It's, you know what? One of them that sticks out is when I was in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, and it was the first time I actually performed the song "It's Your Birthday." I went on ahead as I was walking in the place. And I knew I was going to perform this birthday song. The host was actually having the crowd sing happy birthday to one of his partners on stage. So I'm listening. I'm like, oh, it's somebody's birthday today. So when I perform that record, even after I stop rapping, you hear the crowd going, hey, 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 and my guy that was helping me hype man that record at that time, he was like, and that in that sense it's like, oh, it's going. That's what that meant. Like, so it was just like my first time performing that record, and then now everybody's starting to see me perform that record across the country. So I think the beginning of that, definitely one that really stands out.
Most definitely. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. You made it to the end. Is there anything that you wanted to share with us that I didn't bring up in the interview itself? Any shows coming up?
As far as shows, let's see. We do have some shows coming up. Me alongside Bone Thugs and Harmony, January 31st, Ardmore, PA. Then I know February 6th, 7th, and 8th, I know we're going to be in Detroit, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Bloomington, Indiana. Those are the main shows I know about at the moment. I'm actually preparing to have my own tour as well, called Rebels World Tour. So I'm just gearing up for that, and I have dates for that soon. We're looking towards the springtime for that, though. So.
All right, cool deal. Well, let everybody know where they can connect with you online.
You guys can connect with me on Instagram, which is Nova the Rebel 130. That's Nova the Rebel 130. Twitter, same thing, without the 130. It's Nova the Rebel. Facebook, you guys can add my fan page, which is also Nova the Rebel, or my personal page is fine. It's Meech Thomas. That's Meech Thomas. Aside from that, you can always look me up on YouTube. I got videos, music. It's all up there. And other than that, I mean, yeah, that's pretty. Oh, let me not forget iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, all digital platforms. The new single is out now. Sun Goes Down. Shout out to Sci-Fi the Chemist, who did the actual beat. Be looking for the video coming soon. We have, of course, Crazy Bone as a part of the video. We got a lot of surprises for the video that we're trying to do. So we want to make it big. We want to make it look crazy good, make it live. So, yeah, stay tuned. We definitely got a lot coming for 2020.
All right, man, most definitely. Well, you be blessed, man.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for having me, and look forward to coming back, man, and kicking it with you some more.
Yes, sir. You're welcome anytime.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank y'all. One love.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.